Mule deer, Custer State Park.
Good morning, everybody. We are in South Dakota. We are in Custer State Park. We've driven from North Carolina to actually Wyoming, and now we're on our way back home, back to North Carolina. So we've been driving for 3 or 4 days. We were able to stop in St. Louis, see some family. Then we drove into Kansas a little bit, Nebraska, Wyoming yesterday. And now, like I said, we are in South Dakota. We have had a blast. We saw a lot of cool animals that I haven't seen before. Yesterday, Rowan and Amy were even more excited than I was. We saw a colony of prairie dogs. Prairie dog! We also got to see some wild bison, which is pretty awesome. We saw sandhill cranes, which I've never seen a sandhill crane before. We even saw a pheasant, which is pretty awesome for us, being from North Carolina. Why did we come out here? We came out here to get something really cool for the family. We had one of these before, but it was way too big for the farm. So we drove out here to get a special item that we'll be able to use for the rest of our life. So we're pretty excited about it. I'm going to show that to you probably in another video. It's like 6:30 in the morning right now. But the whole time we've been traveling, we've been following the old Oregon Trail, the Pioneer Trail, the Mormon Trail. There's a few trails that all kind of use the same areas. And we got to see some of the landmarks that they had to use to figure out where they were, like Chimney Rock in Nebraska, Scotts Bluff also in Nebraska. And it really got me thinking about the original homesteaders from the Homestead Act. We had thousands and thousands of Americans leave the east to go out west to have a better life for themselves. And I feel the word homesteader has changed in the last 200 years, and there's always that debate, what is a homesteader, the original homesteaders? But to me, the truth of that word is still the same. Homesteaders left the East in search of a better life. I feel homesteaders today are doing the same thing. They are trying to get a little bit away or apart from modern society, and they're trying to have a better life. So I feel the root of the word and the truth of that word is still the same. People seeking a better life. You may be out in the country, you may be in an urban area, you may be in an apartment, who knows? But you are trying to do something a little bit different, just like our family and thousands of families out there. You may be growing a garden, you may be raising animals, chickens, that's a great place to start. Quails, I think, are even easier sometimes. There's a lot of things you can do to start out as a homesteader. And you don't have to do it a certain way. You can do it your way. I think any little thing you're doing to have a better life that is not so connected to modern ways. And of course, you know, my family is not trying to not go to the grocery store. We're trying to go to the grocery store less. We are trying to do the best we can. There's people that are off-grid. We're not off-grid. We probably won't ever be off-grid. But we're trying to do what we can do, and I think that's what is important. We grow a garden, we have chickens, we have animals, I grow mushrooms, I do foraging, so we heat with firewood. So we are trying to do what we can, and we're trying to do it our way, the best way we can do. And I think that's what you need to do if you want to be a little bit different, if you want to be a modern homesteader. And there's not a way to get started. There's lots of good ways to get started. But I think taking that first step is what's important. Just, you may be frustrated with modern society a little bit, and growing a garden is a great way to start. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to share more of our trip with you. I haven't filmed a lot. We've been driving. We were behind schedule, now we're on schedule. Sometimes you just don't want to pull out the camera to film, and you just don't have time. But I'm really excited. I went to South Dakota when I was 17 on a road trip. I won a scholarship to go to a science camp in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and my best friend Andy also won that same scholarship, and the science camp gave us $400 to get out there, so we had $800 to drive from St. Louis to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we went through South Dakota, saw some really cool stuff, and now 20 years later, I get to take my family to some of those cool places. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We're in a beautiful place. We're in Custer State Park. We're going to see more wildlife today, and I'm hoping to share some of that with you. I hope you have a great day. I hope you keep on keeping on, and we'll see you in the next video.